Hello and welcome to the Embroidered Elephant channel. My name is Kim and today I am going to be trying to follow a paper pattern to make a pinafore dress. So if you've seen my videos before, you may know that I am slightly addicted to shopping in charity shops. And one shop that I went to with my mother-in-law a few months ago now has a large selection of crafty bits, sewing bits and all sorts of things. So when I went there, I happened to find a pattern by Tilly and the Buttons, and it is for a pinafore dress. It's called the Clio. And this was only £1 or £2, I can't remember 100% now. But obviously it has been used and I thought that I would make it with you. So this year I have had it on my to-do list to make more clothes, and I am going to Italy in just over a month, or just under a month now, and I thought that it would be nice to make some pinafores because they would be quite easy to make and wear with various different things. I have also got some dresses on my line, but I just need to get back into sewing a little bit before I dive into making a dress, I think. So, just spinning you around. This is what I have taken out of the pattern so far. So these are all the pattern pieces, so there's various ones. What I need to do first is to measure myself to find out what size I am. So helpfully they have a key on the side, and if you've never used a pattern before, this is usually how they differentiate different sizes. So you will see, so you've got each of these different lines that differentiates the different sizes. So as you go down and they may get a bit closer, it's easier to understand which one you are going with. So the previous person has cut these out and sort of stuck them back together, so I don't know the exact accuracy of that, but what I will be doing is finding my size, which where has it gone? It's probably at the bottom of this, yeah. So I will be measuring myself and working out what size I need to cut out based on this. I will be going slightly bigger because it's always better to go a bit too big and make it smaller than too small and it doesn't fit. So I'm going to measure myself and work out what size to cut out, and then I will be cutting out the sizes. In terms of fabric, I have some fabric here that I bought a couple of years ago. Now I don't know how much, I believe it's 5 meters of each, so I'm hoping that one of these will have enough fabric to make a pinafore set without it being too difficult or having to sort of match anything up. So this is a beautiful corduroy, and I think I will start with this one first. If all goes well, I will make a second one. This is corduroy but much smaller. For people who have never made a pattern before, it's really important before you buy it that you have a rough idea of what clothes size you are, because although some patterns are very inclusive, so this one goes from size 6 to a size 20, not all patterns are. Sometimes they only do sort of 3 or 4 different sizes in each package, and there might be 2 different sizes of packet that you could, or pattern that you can buy. So just be aware of sizes that are on there. So this one, simply I have to measure my waist and my hip. So this is quite good because it's not too fitted. And this shows you the supplies as well. So I think I've got the dungaree buckles, fabric 1.2 meters or 1.8 meters or 1.3 meters to 1.9 meters, so that should, touch wood, be fine. Matching thread is fine. Iron-on interfacing, I haven't got that, but that will be fine. Then the fabric suggestions: heavy or medium weight woven fabrics that hold their shape, such as denim, corduroy, cotton drill, canvas, wool, gabardine. But yeah, and that's what it will look like in the end. So there's 2 suggestions: midi length or knee length. So that is the front. So usually I'm around a size 16 in clothes. This one I have just sized up so that it will be sure to be comfortable, and so I am a size 7, so I'm just going to cut that out now. So it's the second biggest, sorry, not the biggest, the one just after. With a lot of patterns, they are made to have a bit of ease. Because I haven't made too many paper patterns before, as I said, I'm just going to size it up a bit. I have just sized it up so that I know that it will definitely fit. I've been burnt a few times by making patterns that I believe are the right size, and they go one of 2 ways, which isn't great. So until I get a bit more confident with my sizing and the clothes and things like that, I will just size up for now. So I'm just going to cut out all of the patterns to the size 7, and then I will be back with you when I will pop the patterns on the fabric. The pattern pieces are all laid out. So they specifically have to go in this direction because this is corduroy, so there is a right and a wrong way. So this way is smooth, this way is rough. So I need to make sure that all of them are going in the same direction. So it is about 20 to 12 at the moment. I have downloaded a new audiobook. It's Tess of D'Urberville's. That's about 2 hours, just over 2 hours. I have got the instructions in front of me, which are seem to be foolproof, which is great. I've cut out all of my pieces, so I am going to sew this, and hopefully I will be finished before I finish the book, if not around the same time. Touch wood. Yes, it seems very straightforward, so as I said, I'm hoping that it will be fairly quick. So I'm going to put my headphones in and get sewing, and hopefully I will be done before 2 or 3 o'clock. So this is the finished dress. So it is very comfy, but I would say it's not overly flattering. Maybe there's a way that I can draw the sides in a little bit. I say it's comfy. Yeah, it's quite big around the sides, but then I'd want it to be comfy when I sit down as well. There's a pocket on the front which is quite big, and we've got these details here. So these are ones I just had around, same as these. I didn't use interfacing, I just turned it over, and that's the same for all of it, so hopefully it doesn't show. And then the back details, hopefully you can see that. again, I just turn those over. Because I didn't use interfacing, it was a little bit different to how it was meant to be. So the main issue that I can say about this dress is the positioning of the pockets. Now that is because of myself, because I didn't quite know where to put them, but if I'd have used common sense I probably could have worked it out. In the pictures I think they were making the mini dress, so it was closer to the bottom than it should have been. Now this pocket is quite close to the bottom of the dress. How can I show you? So the pockets, rather than being on my bum higher, they are down. So when I put my phone or anything in the pockets, they will just be that bit shorter, but it's not a big issue. I made the longer version rather than the mini version because I didn't know exactly how low it would come to. With previous things that I've made, I have left them being too big, and that's led to me not really wearing them that much. So yeah, I will adjust this edge, I think, to make it a bit more fitted. So I have just pinned the side so that I can make it a bit smaller. However, the problem is that I can't get it over my head and I can't get it down because my hips are wider than my hips are wider than my waist. So what I will probably do is reduce the edges by an inch or so, and that will just stop it from being too oversized. But I won't reduce it much more than that, although I could, because obviously I want it to fit well. So yeah, then I'm finished. So if I were to measure how much I wanted to reduce this by, pinched, it's 4 centimetres on one side and 4 centimetres on the other side. So I'm going to reduce it by 2 centimetres on each side and have some seam allowance as well. Obviously I'm going to turn it inside out and just follow the seam, just reducing it by a couple of centimetres. So obviously I will be doing it 2 centimetres folded, so it'll be 4 centimetres total. Before I cut the fabric, I am going to try it on because I've learnt from that mistake before. So yes, so at the moment I am just marking 2 centimetres from the current seam. Here we go. So I've just made a series of blue lines 2 centimetres from the edge, and I'm just going to follow those down. If this doesn't work, then obviously I can just seam rip it, but it's much easier to seam rip if obviously you haven't sewn it yet. It's one side done, and I've got the next one. So when I'm making clothes, I always start sewing from the top down because it is easier to adjust the hemline than it is to adjust sort of the armpit. You've got more shaping usually at the top of the dress and at the top of garments than you do at the bottom. You can just change the length. And now to try it on. Turn it right side, obviously. So you can see here that I've just sewn next to the line, but I've left the original seam just in case I have to undo it. So I don't believe this is the best picture. Obviously you've got the light shining in the background, but as you can see it's more fitted now. It's not cozy, which is fine. I can still sort of sit down without an issue. So the only thing left to do now, because I'm happy with that, I can get it over my head and I can put it down as well. So the only thing I am going to do now is just finish off the edges. So overlock this edge bit here and just take the excess fabric off. So I have finished the dress. It's taken me just over, well, I'd say around 3 hours to do, and that includes cutting out and pinning everything, which does take a while as well. But the actual sewing, once I started sewing, it only took around 2 hours to do. so that's really exciting. Anyway, let me show you.
I am just finishing the video off in my kitchen, just so that you can see the finished dress and so that I can speak to you. I just thought I would say I really enjoyed making this pattern. The only thing that made it a little bit difficult is the fact that it was secondhand, so someone had already cut out their pattern. She did stick it back together so that I could cut out the bigger pattern, but again that just made it a little bit more difficult. But I saved a lot of money, so it's not going to be perfect if you save money. The pattern itself was super easy to understand. It was really beginner friendly. I think that just having the instruction book, so rather than just having a booklet, this is really handy. So it doesn't just go over the pattern itself, it goes over the jargon buster. So it has a long list of different jargon that might appear in the booklet that you might need to understand. It's got how to find the right size of pattern and how to cut out your fabric. And then it says it has instructions as well on how to fit the pattern pieces to the fabric. And the way that it explains the instructions, it has pictures and it goes literally step from step. It doesn't miss anything out. And it has written instructions as well that, as you can see, are quite lengthy, but they're very clear. I would even say this is one of the best patterns that I have followed because it was so clear. And I would even go as far as saying slightly foolproof. So the pattern itself, it's obviously for a pinafore, is called the Clio dress, I think. You have the option to make it knee length like I have, or you've got the option to make it mini as well. You can adapt it yourself, so you can add the pocket at the front, you can add pockets to the back, or I probably, next time I make a dress, I will put the pockets on the front, sort of around hip height. You can put a slit in the back or in the front, I guess, if you wanted to, and it explains how to do that. For these bits, I did so happen to have these buckles lying around, but if you didn't have these, you could adapt it to have buttons on it. And again, that's explained at the end of this as well. So it's quite adaptable. It has instructions at the front on how you can make it more your own style or how you can change it to suit yourself. And overall, it was a really good experience. So I would suggest, if you are interested in sewing, that you look at Tilly and the Buttons patterns. And if you specifically want to start with something very easy and pinafore at that, I would recommend the Clio pattern, which I use. So this is the first garment that I have made in 2025 so far. I will definitely be making another one with the other corduroy fabric that I have. And yeah, I think I will definitely make more of this. I will put the adaptation in the side from the start, so minus 2 centimeters from each side as I sew it or as I cut it out. But I would love to make this in yellow, like in a mustard colour, and with more corduroy. I'm really enjoying corduroy at the moment, so yes. And I think this would look really nice with just a plain white or a cream t-shirt. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will post some more studio vlog style videos soon. Hopefully I will make some more clothes before I go to Italy, as I said, in about a month or so. So yes, I just couldn't face making a dress at the moment because it's just a lot of work and I don't have a clear pattern to make it with. So pinafore it was. I made it in around 3 hours. It was really easy to do, and this was a great project to get me back into the swing of sewing again. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed it, So thank you very much for watching this video again. If you've enjoyed it, feel free to like or subscribe to this channel, and I will see you again next week. Take care, bye!